Morning, everybody. We've got a fairly severe hole in the lending problem at the moment when it comes to investing in residential rental properties. And I've been instrumental in the last decade or so of getting investors unstuck, meaning that they can go back and get finance again. And so I'm going to attempt this morning to explain to you how to not become stuck yourself. So let's look at these proposed purchases. They're dinks, double income, no kids. The holy grail, nice fat incomes, $170,000 a year coming into the family. No kids, no outgoings in that regard yet, and they just want to know how much they can borrow. They've got a family home and they want to buy some rental properties. So $170,000 of group income for the family. Most banks are going to look at that at 70%, maybe 75 on a good day. This is because of debt to income ratios. Now, a lot of people are using 6 or 7% debt to income ratios, but in essence, what it means is, while the bank understands you earn $170,000, they're only going to allow you about 70% of that for funding. Well, and that's okay. We're still got $120,000 sitting there. So, we're not stoked about this whole idea, but it works well enough for us. Additionally, then the bank's going to take off some living costs. Now, we all heard the last year or so about the triple CFA and, like all of this consumer costs, etc. But basically, we know that living costs us something. It costs us food, phone, transport to get to and from our jobs, that type of thing. So let's allow a real conservative $2,000 per month, which is $24,000 a year, which is then going to further take our income from 170 to 119 to just under $100,000. Once again, we're not stoked about this, but hey, what do we do? This is where we are. The bank knows we earn $170,000 up here, but they're going to allow us to use $95,000 for servicing debt. Now, as I said, we have a family home in this family, so we already have some debt, but our little friendly dinks up here that with their big incomes have been knocking that family debt down, and they've actually been really great little savers. And what they've got now is a property with a value at $1.1 million. They've paid $600,000 off that in deposits and repayments over the last few years, and they currently owe $500,000. Now, it really doesn't matter what interest rate that $500,000 is on. What actually matters is how the banks look at it. And at the moment, the banks are using close to a 9% test rate. Now, what this means is it doesn't matter if you're on 3% interest or interest only, but banks look at it as 9%. In fact, ASB just this week have gone up to 8.75. They were one of the better ones until that point, which basically means that if we take a 9% rate against the 500 owing, there's another $45,000 that comes off the 95. And at this point, you're sitting there and you're gasping a little bit going, hold on, I earn $170,000 a year, and because I've got a family home and because I quite like to eat occasionally, I'm down to actually really only having a provable $50,000. But I'd like to invest in some residential rental properties. So where do I go from there? Well, let's go a rental purchase then. Average rental purchase, 2, maybe 3 bedrooms, townhouse, new build, say $750,000 value, $600 per week rent, which gives us $31,200 per annum. The bank allows you to use 75% of that for servicing. So basically our income goes up $23,000. So instead of being $50,000, the $50,000 wage and then the $23,000 from the rent gives us $73,400. But then obviously, because we're borrowing that $750, probably against the family home, we then need to use the test rate to service that $750, which is $67,500, and suddenly our family actually have a serviceable income of $6,000. I mean, come on, now hold on. What? $170,000 income, a family home and a little rental, and the bank looks at them as people who actually only have $6,000 coming in. Now, this is why I believe that 9% yield, because of the test rate and because of the way that the numbers and the calculations work, 9% at the moment is break even, which is why myself and all my clients are aiming for 12, 13, 14, and up to 17% returns. Now, they are hard to find. They usually look like a lot of work. They usually look like an unusual property type. But all I'm saying is, if you have a massive income, even a really healthy massive income, and you don't have kids and you don't have costs, you don't have credit cards, you still might not be able to borrow all the money you think you can for residential rental property, and you still could possibly become rather stuck, which is exactly why I'm doing a cash flow bootcamp and helping people not get in that position. So Come along, grab your ticket, the link is below.
I think property investment is about 60% finance with some houses thrown in. It's all about structuring and positioning yourself so that you can get the money, and that's why I'm talking about cash flow today.
Hi, how are you doing? My name's Steve Goody, and I'm bringing my incredibly popular Cashflow Property Bootcamp back to Auckland on the 28th of May 2023. Last year we had over 600 people attend this event and we were 100% sold out. So if you'd like to grab a ticket for that, grab your ticket now, just bang the link below.